Okay, what I admire about Barbara Jordan is, number one, Barbara Jordan is the product of an HBCU. She went to Texas Southern University, and then she went from there to Georgetown. She had a very difficult time, but the woman was brilliant, and she was determined that she was going to succeed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I join my colleague, Mr. Rangel, in thanking you for giving the junior members of this committee the glorious opportunity of sharing the pain of this inquiry. Earlier today, we heard the beginnings of the preamble to the Constitution of the United States. We, the people. It is a very eloquent beginning. But when that document was completed on the 17th of September in 1787, I was not included in that we, the people. I felt somehow for many years that George Washington and Alexander Hamilton must have left me out by mistake. But through the process of amendment, interpretation, and court decision, I have finally been included in we, the people. Today, I am an inquisitor. I believe that hyperbole would not be fictional and would not overstate the solemnness of what I feel right now. My faith in the Constitution, it is whole, it is complete, it is total. And I am not going to sit here and be an idle spectator to the diminution, the subversion, the destruction of the Constitution. I suggest it is a misreading of the Constitution for any member here to assert that for a member to vote for an article of impeachment means that that member must be convinced that the president should be removed from office. The Constitution doesn't say that. The powers relating to impeachment are an essential check in the hands of the body legislature against and upon the encroachment of the executive. The division between the two branches of the legislature, the House and the Senate, assigning to one the right to accuse and to the other the right to judge. The framers of this Constitution were very astute, and they did not make the accusers and the judgers and the judges the same person. The nature of impeachment, a narrowly channeled exception to the separation of powers maxim. The Federal Convention of 1787 said that. It limited impeachment to high crimes and misdemeanors, and discounted and opposed the term maladministration. It is to be used only for great misdemeanors. So it was said in the North Carolina Ratification Convention and in the Virginia Ratification Convention. We do not trust our liberty to a particular branch. We need one branch to check the other. This morning, in a discussion of the evidence, we were told that the evidence which purports to support the legislation of misuse of the CIA by the president is thin. We're told that that evidence is insufficient. What that recital of the evidence this morning did not include was what the president did know on June the 23rd, 1972. The president did know that it was Republican money, that it was money from the Committee for the Re-election of the President, which was found in the possession of one of the burglars arrested on June the 17th. What the president did know on the 23rd of June was the prior activities of E. Howard Hunt, which included his participation in the break-in of Daniel Ellsberg's psychiatrists, which included Howard Hunt's participation in the Dita Beard ITT affair, which included Howard Hunt's fabrication of cables designed to discredit the Kennedy administration. We were further cautioned today that perhaps these proceedings ought to be delayed, because certainly there would be new evidence forthcoming from the President of the United States. There has not even been an obfuscated indication that this committee would receive any additional materials from the President. The committee's subpoena is outstanding, and if the President wants to supply that material, the committee sits here. The fact is that on yesterday, the American people waited with great anxiety for 8 hours, not knowing whether their president would obey an order of the Supreme Court of the United States. At this point, I would like to juxtapose a few of the impeachable criteria with some of the actions the president has engaged in. Impeachment criteria. James Madison from the Virginia Ramification Convention: if the president be connected in any suspicious manner with any person, and there be grounds to believe that he will shelter him, he may be impeached. The president was engaged in a series of public statements and actions designed to thwart the lawful investigation by government prosecutors. Moreover, the president has made public announcements and assertions bearing on the Watergate case, which the evidence will show he knew to be false. These assertions, false assertions, impeachable. Those who misbehave, those who behave amiss or betray the public trust. A president is impeachable if he attempts to subvert the Constitution. The Constitution charges the president with the task of taking care that the laws be faithfully executed, and yet the president has counseled his aides to commit perjury, willfully disregarded the secrecy of grand jury proceedings, concealed surreptitious entry attempt to compromise a federal judge, while publicly displaying his cooperation with the proceedings of a criminal justice. A president is impeachable if he attempts to subvert the Constitution. If the impeachable provision in this Constitution of the United States will not reach the offense charged here, then perhaps that 18th century Constitution should be abandoned to a 20th century paper shredder. As the journey continues, we salute Barbara Jordan.